Hey, what's going on? I'm going to be going to the gym today to train some shoulders, and I guess I'll just take you through a typical workout. I might have mentioned before in posts that when it comes to training, I typically freestyle it. Sometimes it's a case of it depends what time of the day it is, because early in the morning or in the evening, the gym can be really busy. So it's like limitations with what equipment I can use. And then I have to try and figure out what I can do until the available equipment is there. But it is early afternoon, so shouldn't be too busy. And before training, normally before I go, I use a massage gun. This is like a travel sized one. I do have a larger one, what's it called? Thermagun? Can't remember the name of it. Theragun. But I use this one. I normally keep it in my gym bag, or I might travel with it. You could get cheap ones on Amazon, to be honest with you. And you could take it when you go on holidays. I typically use it to help to activate the muscle, so I don't spend 15 minutes warming up like most people do. So if I cycle to the gym, the body is warm. And if I use the massage gun, my muscles is already activated. These are like the little hacks for me. Sometimes people go to the gym and they spend 15, 20 minutes on the treadmill, the Stepmaster or whatever. And I'm like, I just want to lift weights and I want to go as heavy as possible, as quick as possible. And I just don't like all the faffing around with lightweight. I want to get the muscles activated so I can lift as heavy as possible. Now, what I would say when I'm training shoulders is whenever I'm doing a raise, a front raise or a lateral raise, I tend to go quite lighter. But when it comes to a press, that's when I go a lot heavier. And I would suggest that for anyone. Anyway, I'm gonna have a pre-workout and then get ready to go to the gym. Pre-workout for today is Boost. This Boost has, I'm trying to open it with one hand now. It has a molecular hydrogen water in there. What you do is you take a sachet, which looks like this, put it in the water, mix it, and then put the hydrogen water in there and allow that to dissolve, or the molecular hydrogen tablet, allow that to dissolve, and then drink it once it's dissolved. It really helps with reducing not just free radicals and oxidative stress, but like while you're training, it helps for recovery as well. Really good for recovery. Where you got most people who take these really long rest periods, with me, I like to blast my session out as quick as possible and have minimal rest periods. And if I'm feeling tired, I have to rest for a long time, and then it means a long time in the gym. I'm not one of those people. I just want to go in, train hard, get out. Anyway, I'm gonna have my pre-workout and I'll take you to the gym. Yo, what's going on? Right now, I am in Rip Gym, about to get my training session on. And yeah, it doesn't look too busy. Probably can't see from here, to be honest. But a few people about, all good. So I can easily just find some equipment and start some training. I'll probably start off with some cables just to get the shoulders warmed up. All right, let's do this. Yo, about to do some lateral raises with the cables. All right, normally when I do lateral raises, I'll have the handle from behind me. I normally do it this way because there's so much exercises that focuses on the front delt. It's a way of avoiding having overdevelopment of the front delt. You see it with a lot of people. So it activates the lateral head and maybe a little bit of the back, but it's still mainly lateral head, to be fair. Lost count. All right, let's go on the other side. Now I'm gonna go over to dumbbells and I'm gonna go straight for a press. So a little bit of cables just to get the shoulders warmed up. Nothing crazy. As I said, I use the massage gun.
And I tend to use the cables mainly, not even just to warm up, but to get a good stretch as well. It creates a nice amount of tension on the shoulders, and it's almost like to really prime the muscle for me to just go heavy quickly. Just gonna put the camera to the side and get started. So I'll probably start off with some 35s and then work my way up. Sometimes when I'm lifting the weight, if I find it too easy, then I don't do as much reps. The goal is to try and get as heavy as possible, as quick as possible. I'm gonna start off with 35s, but sometimes I'll just get a good feel of it, just see what my body is saying as to whether I'm gonna go to 8 reps, or sometimes I might stop at 6 and think, all right, I'm feeling pretty strong, I'm gonna go heavier. Well, I am gonna go heavier, but I'm gonna try and push it as much as possible. All right. Even already picking up the weights felt quite easy. That's like, all right, that's primed my head to let me know it's gonna be good. But sometimes it's not until I start pressing, right, I can gauge where I'm at. Hey! That's all right. Sometimes I will go up in increments of 5 kilos, or sometimes I'll just jump straight to 10 kilos. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just look at the bench. All right, cool. When I used to do dumbbell shoulder press, I used to have the bench completely straight. And I found that whenever I've done that, my shoulders have hurt. Now it's maybe about 20 degrees back. Might hit the anterior delt a little bit more, but it's okay. I'd rather have that than an impingement. 35, now we're gonna do 45. Hey! What I'll probably normally do is go to between 5 to 6 reps, depending how I'm feeling. Again, sometimes I'll just keep it short if I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I might not be feeling like super strong, so I might reduce the amount of reps so I can go heavier. It's all based on feel. Sometimes I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, I need to do it this way. I'm so intuitive with the training that I just bob and weave, and it's always a freestyle. Anyway, here we go. Just from that, I know to myself I've had stronger days. Rather than jump in 10 kilos, I'll probably just jump 5, go to 50, see how I feel. Chances are I will do a certain amount of reps, rest for a bit, do a few more reps with the same weight, and then probably go down and rep it out a bit. I might go back to 35s, I might go a bit lower. Just really depends on how I feel. In terms of rest periods, I try to not keep it too long. I just kind of feel my heartbeat. If my heart is beating super hard, I just go by that. Sometimes I'll wear my Apple Watch, which gives me an indication. I'll just have a look and be like, okay, cool. But again, it's intuitive. If I feel the heart is like, I know I'll calm down. When it's like, almost there. But even when it's beating quite relatively high, I still just go for the next lift. But not when it's crazy high. Right. Let's go. Sometimes most of the struggle comes from the actual lift itself. What's really important is really using your legs to lift it up, so you're not really exhausting your arms so much to get it in the position, because sometimes by the time you get there you're like, oh shit, I am tired. So much leg as possible on both the lifts. Alright, so through that, felt comfortable, so I know I could go up another 5. It's intuitive. I thought I was going to be on 50 and then start going back down, but once my body takes to it, I know I can continue going. Bring it left my bag. Give me a sec. I'm gonna get my bag. Yo. Look for my bag to get my drink. In my drink I have, my concoction here is Prime, which I've spoken about many times. It's got creatine, arginine, zinc, boron, HMB, and some other ingredients. But also I put a scoop of magnesium in there and essential amino acids. I don't always have essential amino acids. It really depends on the diet that I have, especially the previous day. It depends on how much I ate. But because I generally intermittent fast, I make sure that I'm protecting my muscle all the time. HMB is an ingredient that is good for preserving the muscle so you don't lose it. When fasting, that comes in very handy. You don't want to lose muscle, even when you're not eating. Always remain hydrated while you train. During a rest period, sip. I'd never suggest to just drink water. If you have water, at least put some electrolytes in there or some salt. Always. All right. Come on. That was hard as a motherfucker. That was hard. Now, drop the weight. Drop down to about 35 or 30. I'm gonna have a little rest first. When the heart is thumping, it's an indication. Relax. Sometimes I'll bring it down maybe roughly to around 110, and then I'll go again. Not that I can check, but when you have some sort of device and you're checking against the way you're feeling, you become intuitive. It's a bit like diet. You're starting off with, when you want to lose a certain amount of body fat, you follow a program and you soon understand what certain portions are equal to in calories. Same with training. Right now, I know my heart is there where I can start another lift. I might do 6, 8 or 10 reps. I can feel it already. Move to the next equipment. Yo, right, I'm gonna do some rear flies now. Sometimes when I work on the front, afterwards I go to the back, and then to the front, to the back. It just allows one area to just cool down for a bit whilst you work another area, so that it doesn't get completely fatigued while you exercise another part. If I continue to work the front, then I go to the back. Sometimes it's like my body is just too depleted by then. So I might completely exercise, but it won't be as much effort. You know what, a lot of the time I don't even check the weight. Well, I do see the weight, but I don't really focus on how much is it. I just move it up until it gets to a feeling, maybe I need to go down a bit. In this case, let me see, maybe it's 47 pounds. That can't be kilos. Go to 75. As I said, when it comes to any exercise where the arms are extended naturally because of gravity and where your hands are further away from, let's say, the anchor point, it's going to be a lot more harder. So you don't want to put too much stress on your joints. It's one of those where you have to go by feel. So it's like, if I'm going to do, what did I go up to? Maybe 50, 55 kilos shoulder press. I'm not going to be trying to do that as a lateral raise or a rear delt fly. It's going to be way less. Sometimes you can sacrifice a little bit of form when you're doing some exercises, as long as you don't compromise your back and you're not yanking the body too much where you're messing up your joints. Now, you got people who say things like form is super important. If you're a beginner, it is really important. But if you're a pro or an elite, someone who's been doing it for a long time, it's not crazy important. You understand how to manipulate the exercise to make sure you're not getting injured. And the only time I really kind of got injured was when I had overloaded the plate when I was doing a squat. Just went too heavy. But other than that, I'm not always doing the strictest form. So people say, it needs to be strict. You got keyboard warriors or thumb warriors who's nitpicking at people's forms who don't even have a decent frame. It's like people just ain't got anything better to do with their time. But in most cases, focus on form. But in some cases, it's all right to, you know, slack it a little. Not bad, not bad. 75 pounds, maybe 89. With flies, because the weight is a lot more less, my heart rate is not going super high. Oh no, it's probably under 100 right now, quite easily. 80 something possibly, 70 something, don't know. But rest periods doesn't need to be as long. I could just hop back in it. Just gonna have a sip of this. Right, need to move this mic. All right, so I'm stopping because that felt super easy. Sometimes I'll do that, I'm like, too easy. I don't wanna waste my time with weights that I feel that are too easy, so I just up it straight away, focus on the heavier weight. So it's on 89, I'm gonna put it to 110. All right, that felt good. Felt good. Because I've done 8 reps, I already understand I can go heavier. Felt comfortable, wasn't stressed. I didn't compromise my form. Not that that's the deciding factor all the time, but certain exercises, you want to try and keep the form as good as possible, especially when the arms are out. You don't want to be yanking because of the joints, ligaments, tendons. If it's more of a pressing move, it's okay. It's all right to mess up the form a bit, as long as you're not yanking. I think that's the main thing. Yanking or bending in a real vulnerable position. Heart rate is feeling all right. Don't need to sit down for too long, straight into it. There's times when I'm training, I see guys sit down for 4 or 5 minutes each time on their phone. If you want results, don't be that person. All right, let's see how it goes. I'll move this mic. All right, let's go. Hey! Ooh, not bad. I think that was decent. Decent weight. It's 124. I'll show you, so you know I'm not cheating. Let's go. Whoopsie daisy. All right. You see that? So the pin is right here. Cool. What am I gonna do now? Probably do a plate loaded press. With plate loaded press, focus is a little bit on the lateral head and the anterior delt. And because it's seated, your body is in a nice fixed position, allowing you to push heavier. It's a great way to isolate the muscle, really cause some decent stress. And then after that, because it's front and side, I'll be working on the trapezius. Nice, that. And then I'll decide what I'm gonna do afterwards. Plate loaded press, what's the other name for it? The isolateral shoulder press. I'm gonna start off with 2 plates, get a feel of it. I don't have any set reps in mind, I'll just get a feel of it. And then as I'm going through it, I might think, let's keep repping, or I might just be like, oh, no, that's enough, I just wanna load up the plate. I'm already very warmed up because of the previous exercises. Generally speaking, I don't want to rep it out too much because my goal is to do as much progressive overload as possible. What I also find as well is sometimes people put the seat super low. So if the seat is low, you're not really working the shoulders as much, and it's so much easier. If you really want to work the shoulders to almost like a lower range of motion, bring the seat up, because rather than starting up here and then going up and just going like this, you're starting down here and you're raising up and you're coming down lower. Much harder. Sometimes people are taller, sometimes people are not. They just want it easier for themselves, or they just reposition the seat and maybe they just don't know that it's easier to do it that way. I always try to make it as hard as possible because I know I'm not cheating myself. All right, so 60 kilos either side, 120 in total. Heart rate is okay. Now it's just a case of how much glycogen do I have in my muscles. Sometimes your heart rate is okay, but your muscles are just depleted. It's not even down to heart rate anymore. It's really interesting. Anyway, let's go. Done 5 reps because I didn't want to exhaust the muscle. I know that this particular exercise can get quite tough, so I just want to jump to the next weight. This might be a bit unorthodox compared to the way other people train. Sometimes they're like, oh, I'm gonna go for 6, I'm gonna go for 8, I'm gonna go for 12. They know in terms of numbers. Whereas for me, I'm more focusing on getting heavy. Certain exercises I'll just take my time with. Actually squats, because of my sort of accident, I just keep it steady. What's quite interesting is that I do very well with split squats, but normal squats, it's almost like I have a slight fear with it. But split squats is incredible. I'll explain that in another video, the benefits of it. But anyway, don't want to rest too long. I want to try and go straight into it. Not that I was straight into it. All right, so that, 80 kilos either side, 160. I'll drop it down now. If I was to start with the isolateral press, then I could have gone up to 5 plates. But because I'm a few exercises in, it's not really worth the stress, because I want to do a few more exercises, or at least one more. Next after this is going to be some shrugs. Oh yeah, always put the weights back. Right here, as you can see, there's some weights on there already. The previous person didn't put the weights back, but it's okay. I don't even mind putting other people's weights away. It doesn't bother me. I see it as part of the workout. Let's put this over here. Proper wonky. All right. Sometimes when people are doing shrugs, or a lot of the time, when people do shrugs, they always hold it from the top and do shrugs. Always. I never do that. Again, I'm always focusing on how do I make it harder for the muscle without compromising my joints or ligaments or any way which is going to create an injury. I always think safety, but what's the hardest? And so I grab from the bottom. The same weight that you put on there, it feels harder. You're placing down the weight, slowly go down, never flop in your back. So pushing the hips back, slowly lower, for safety. As the weights get heavier, I normally use lifting straps. Can't get the words out today, wow. But it just depends on how many reps. Again, heart rate is up, don't need to faff around with a lot of rest periods. Go straight into it as quick as possible. That was good. More weights. All right, I'm gonna have a little drink. Heart rate is up a little, but it's enough to go again. Let's get it. Not bad. All right, final 20 kilos. So combined weight is gonna be 200. Well, including this here. What is that? 25. Extra 11 kilos. 211 kilos. 200 is very different using this machine than if you used to do shrugs with a barbell, or even a trap bar. With a trap bar, feel it a lot more. With a barbell, it's a different positioning. I'm not too much of a fan of using the barbell, because when I'm working my traps, I want to push my shoulders back, so I'm really contracting and squeezing the muscle that I'm working on. When the bar is in front, I have to try to push it back, and I don't know, it almost feels like a deformity trying to do it. With a trap bar, you can do it more, because you're holding the bar on the side, and it's easier to control that way. All right, I'm ready. Let's get it. Hey! Come on. Wild. All right. Let's get that body check in. The microphone attached. Light is a bit crap. But you can see the whole shoulder is worked pretty much. Could have done more exercises, but I leave it for today. Worked all areas. Some exercises that worked the front, side. I could have focused a little bit more on lateral raises, but I'll do that on another day. Sometimes when I train chest, I'll also throw in a little bit of shoulders with it. It just really depends. There's no set rule where it has to be, you have to only do that body part. I don't do it that way. I like to enjoy myself when I'm in the gym. I've come here to work out, done what I needed to do, go home, eat some food, chill, relax. Yeah, here we are. One thing I need to work on is the front spread, the lat spread. Bit crap. Shoulders are looking all right. I do want to improve, I think, the left side a little bit more. Just a little bit. A bit more details in the traps, more depth on the back. But at the same time, right now I'm just focusing on condition. So in terms of building, that's probably not going to happen. Keep in shape, guys. Till the next video.